everybody, I am Cyril Desremaux, and this, my friends, is Happy Time. Happy Time today was a beautiful rainy day. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and rainy. So I'm going to warn you, today is going to go all over the place. But there's a common theme to it. Okay, so first I'm starting with a rainy day. I woke up this morning and I felt like, wow, I love rainy days, because they remind me of my hometown where it rains a lot, and here in California it doesn't rain so much. So whenever I have that, I'm happy, and it reminds me of my hometown, my family and friends, and I just love the smell of it. I love the smell. It doesn't really bother me at all, getting wet. So I like rainy days. So it makes me remind me of what I'm reading right now. I'm reading a book from Eckhart Tolle called The New Earth, where he's talking about energies, and in the, how if you're at the sun, then you feel the energy of the sun, right? It's a positive energy, so you feel good. And then if maybe you're running and there's rain and cold, then you don't really like that. It's it's wet and cold, so we don't like it. But if you look at it as this is energy, because rain is rain, it is what it is, and we as human judge it as negative. But if you were to think about it as just being, or even better, as an energy that we could source on, we could feed on, it just makes the whole situation totally different. I was running the other day and it was cold, and I was trying to look at what that cold was triggering to me. I was feeling so cold. But if you look at it different way, it's like, yeah, I'm alive. I'm cold because I'm alive. Yeah, and then I was starting to run even faster. That was crazy. I must be a little bit crazy, but I was trying to shift that negativity into positive, and that apparently negative energy, which is actually just energy, into positive energy for me. So that was great. So here's today's idea is, instead of looking at the problem, let's look at what it's triggering in you. So this cold was triggering in me even more energy, more envy to be stronger and to go faster, and to separate it, to be stronger than the cold. So all those positive energy starting from negative one. Now I could take more examples of things that are really hard in life. There's a friend of mine, Vincent, who just passed away, and this is so tragic. He's 31 years old, and he died of cancer. He left a wife and a kid, and I just can't find. It's just so hard. There's no reason for it. It's like, why? It's and I'm just a friend. How about his brothers and sisters and parents and wife, and you know what? Why? And there's no way to explain it. So this is so hard, and actually I'm no one to really give any advice, because it's never happened to me to lose a brother or a son. So, but what if we were trying to find in that tragic moment what it's triggering into us? Okay, is there any way we can find positive thoughts? And that's what happened to me when I think of Vincent. He was just great energy, always positive, always happy. He used to be my Boy Scout, and always the guy who tried to do things best and really honest and fair play. Everything he did was great, right, just a great laugh, a great smile. So I'm trying to keep that, and that's all I'm gonna keep, from him. Every time I think of him is that positive, and it reminds me that, okay, you're alive, enjoy life every day, and that's my take-home message for that. What does this even triggers in me that I should be positive about it? So it's gonna take some time, of course, because losing someone you love is so hard. But over time, it's trying to find that piece of positive energy you can get out of a tragic event. There's another event, Wes, the person I'm training with, who's got this illness where just all of a sudden everything hurts in your body, right? He's got the muscle aches, the joints ache, and my sister-in-law is just like that. And you don't see it from the outside. He just normally said, "Man, I'm hurting inside. It's like pain. Don't touch my skin. Don't touch my hands. It's hurting." Well, you don't look like you're hurting. And I was telling him, you must be really strong to handle that. So these people that have that illness, it's they can withhold pain. They can suffer inside, and it's toughness. And so what does this trigger in you? Does this trigger a mental strength? You have to cope with it, so you adapt to it. And so what is the positive thing that you get out of it? And I was telling him, maybe the best thing come when people think positive, and maybe the best thing come people think negative, or maybe not think negative but are suffering. I was thinking of Baudelaire when he wrote Les Fleurs du Mal. He was depressed and etc. And his poetry was just amazing. So I guess maybe it's a time to create. Excuse me. So what is this event that's negative triggering into positive? And it makes me think of another example of my brother who ran with a discapacitated child. He did a race, so he had the child in a race in a wheelchair, and he was racing. Was it a race in the sand or whatever? I don't remember, 5K or 10K. And the dad was telling him, it's very difficult to have a discapacitated child. It's really hard. Every day it's hard, but it triggers a moment of magic, of like crazy positive attitude and openness of people and new connection and smiles. So this dad had fully understood the concept that I'm trying to tell you today is what does it triggers in your positive life. Alright, so of course you don't want to look for it because everything that's negative is negative, but I think I'm kind of looking for it. If when I'm doing this race, this Yukon race, it's 450 miles of paddling, I'm going to suffer and I think this pain is going to trigger something new in me, and this is what I kind of looking for, is pushing my limits to say, okay, what is it going to do to me? Maybe mentally I'll be stronger, maybe more resistant to pain, maybe having a different perspective on life, etc., etc. So the take-home message is just whatever happens to you negative, accept it and look for what it triggers into you of positive. Aloha.